Hi everyone, this side I'm Shafi Jami, and in this video we are gonna be talking about Qt. Qt is just a modern, beautiful, modern library which is used in beautiful and cross-platform applications from car dashboards to media players and smart appliances. So in this video, we are gonna be talking about what Qt is, why it is used, is some of its history, architecture, and components, and compare it to other frameworks and maybe in other languages, and why you should learn it and should you learn it or not. And so first of all, let's go on. So Qt, written as Qt, but it's pronounced at Qt. It's a free and open source widget toolkit. So it was primarily used to build graphical user interfaces, GI, but it's far more than that now. So like the history of QD was, it was first born in 1991 in Norway by two developers at Trolltech. Over the years, it evolved through various hands, Nokia, Digia, and finally, it's now in the hands of the QD company. And this company, it now handles the Qt, and it's been used in various various things such as what do you say, Linux desktops and everything, Linux desktops, Tesla dashboards, medical devices. Despite new frameworks popping up, Qt from 1991 has stood the test of time because of its performance, stability, and mature architecture. So QD, just most of the people know this for just its GUI performances, but GUI is just a part of this story. So Qt consists of GUI most primarily, and then networking, threads, databases, XML, 2D, 3D graphics, and even supporting OpenGL widgets. Like if you want to integrate some OpenGL widget in your app, you don't need to go here and there to do something. Just it's a Q OpenGL widget. You can just render and do everything you do for an OpenGL widget. Then it provides just modules for networking, multi-threading, multimedia, web integration, file handling, graphics, embedded device support, and more. Like it's full application layer, not just a visual layer. You can do backend and even front end with it. Like you want to integrate database. Qt already supports QSQL or QSQLite, something like that. And then multimedia, multi-threading, parallel tradings, everything, graphics in 2D, 3D, then file handling, API calls, networks, sockets, everything. And it's just a full application framework. If you learn this, then you would not just be installing many other libraries and integrating it in your application. Instead, just one Qt would work. So Qt architecture consists of Qt core, base classes, signal, slot, containers, and event loops. Then Qt GUI, which consists of rendering, fonts, OpenGL, and image processing. Then we gotta go for Qt widgets. That's traditional GUI widgets, buttons, windows, sliders, etc. And Qt Quick or QML, declarative UI language for dynamic apps. We are not going to be focusing on QML or Qt Quick. We're just going to be focusing on Qt widgets because in this I mean series we are gonna be doing cute widgets. So and thing most important thing I need to tell you is that if you will be thinking like Qt consists of this much modules and it would be like a so much large application. First of all, Qt uses lib and DLL. We are gonna be using DLLs time and then and DLLs, it does not consist of a single DLL called qt.dll or single library file called qt.lib. It just consists of small files. Like you want to include Qt core, it has a separate DLL. Qt GUI has a separate DLL. It just includes all the DLL that is required for your application, not all the files. So to make your application lightweight, and if you use this feature smartly, then you are gonna have a lightweight application. Then we are gonna be moving towards one of the most iconic feature of Qt. It is signal and slots. Signal and slots are just a mechanism when it's a way just to handle communication between two objects. A visual is a like what you say, a visual object like button, or not even a visual object. It can be a backend object that just emits a signal, and then in object B responds to that signal. Like it just replaces old callback with type safe, readable, and maintainable code. You connect actions like button clicks, timers to your own functions, which are called slots, and they just work. This is one of the not one of that. This is the backbone of how interactivity in Qt works. So, like here, you have an object, it signals, and you have two functions called slots. Your functions, custom functions, are called slots. Like on signal one emitted, you connect it to slot one. Like you have a queue timer about just a timer. And when that timer ends, you want to call that particular function. So you can connect that timer ending to that function. And on the timer ending, that function would be called. Like same, if you send a networking API, you just call a API, and we just used to write some callback things. But in Qt, you just call it, you just connect it to a function or something that you want to handle. It's like you want to get the data, just connect it, and it would, when the API would answer, it would call your function. It's just so much easy. Signals and slots are just so much easy, literally. So now signals of slots, I've already shown it to you. So it's just like so much. I That's my favorite thing, signals and slots. It's just provides a maintainable code that you just understand and maintain it easily. Then one of the mm, good things of Qt is also portability. It's a cross-platform power code once deployed. So you can build apps once and deploy it to multiple platforms without rewriting any UI code. Qt takes care of platform-specific rendering styles and behavior. So you can have different like you wrote an application code in Windows, and you can run that same code on Linux and Mac, or even if you have written an code for Android, you can do that for an iOS. It's easy like that. You can just like uh it just maintains your portability in code, and you can just write one code, no changes in codes. Just you one more thing that you need to change is specific functions, like if you have written some win API function, or if you have written some Windows terminal commands, then you need to change that for Mac, and you can just do that by if def Windows do this, if definition is Mac OS do this, like that you can do it. It's really easy, but in this series we are gonna be focusing on Windows. So that's thing. And Qt versus some other frameworks. Let me just see my notes one about Qt and other frameworks in other languages. So we are gonna be probably using C++. It provides some other things such as DOIM GUI or some like things like that. But Qt has got the edge. It has been over from all other languages. So, if you're thinking about some other languages for GUI, let me tell you that C, which is most popular and most favorite language of me, even though I don't know C. So C Wait, C is not my favorite language. Actually, C++ is my favorite, but after that. So C has a framework called GTK. It's cross-platform but limited, has less GUI power and less speed than our Qt. Then we gotta go for JavaScript. There you get Electron, and Electron is cross-platform, but GI power is slightly less than Qt, and speed it's so much less than Qt. It's a heavy app. Then Flutter. which is in Dart. It's Google's UI, I think Google's. So it's cross-platform, yes, because it's the UI thing, and then it'll get you GUI power same as Electron, and its speed is just as GTK in C. GTK and GTK, it's not GTK in C. So it's like that. So Qt is great when you want naive performance, fine UI control, and scalability from desktop to embedded. If you are a C++ developer, Qt would be a really nice for you for UI things. Then let me show you some real world uses of Qt. So real world uses like LG Electronics, Droidio, Labor, Mercedes-Benz, and all these General Motors. You can see all them here. And also let me just AMD also uses this. So let me just tell you some more like VLC Media Player. It's also made by Autodesk Maya, VirtualBox. You might have heard it if you have done some like ran some what do you call it? Virtual OS, maybe like that. I'm just slipping it out of my mind. Then UI in Tesla cars and KDE desktop environment. It's a major Linux desktop powered by Qt. Then we're gonna go for Qt open source versus commercial. Like Qt is available under dual licensing, open source, LGPL or GPL, and commercial. So open source is ideal for hobbyist education and open source contributors, and commercial is required for software without releasing source. So just be sure to check the licensing terms s- once before you start about Qt. So we are gonna be in this series, we are gonna be focusing on Qt 6, and it has better hardware acceleration, enhanced 3D graphics, improved QML engine, full C++ 17 and 20 support, and simplified module structure. So it's faster, learner, and feature ready. So let me tell you why you should learn Qt. So if you go for other languages, it may be hard and would not be as good as Qt. So Qt is if you are a C++ developer and want to break into GUI programming, then Qt is one of the best skills you can add to your toolbox because it has great opportunities in embedded desktop and automotive sectors. It builds powerful, lightweight apps with complete control, and then it's just open source and community driven. And Qt also consists of mature documentation and support. So that was the introduction, but let me just show you some things like you can create beautiful designs with Qt, and let me just show you some modules of Qt. Let me just drag it up here. Like here, you can see some modules of Qt. I've been using Qt 6.8.3, like WebAssembly and your compiler, then active Qt, Qt charts, connectivity, etc., etc., 3D, serial port, speech, virtual keyboard, and then web view, web sockets, effect maker, positioning, latte animation, and etc. It's just like that. So that's the things of Qt. And like let me show you how you include Qt in Qt libraries, and I've been using VS with it, and let me just show it to you once. It's Qt, like here you can see all the modules, active Qt server, 3D, 3D query, blah blah. So like it's like that, just simple, and you can just it would just would just include those only these DLLs at your exe directory, and it would work. So that's it for Qt. And for continuing with the series, I need you guys to just configure Qt, like install and configure Qt, and I would be using Visual Studio. It's better if you go on with like Visual Studio, but other editors, integrated desktop environment, integrated development environments would be good, such as VS Code or even Qt Creator. It's good for, it's really, really good for Qt. But I've been more comfortable with VS, so I'll be going on with the VS and teaching you guys about some Qt things. And sorry for pronouncing this Qt. It's like more good for me to pronounce Qt. So that's why I do that. Actually, it's cute. Thanks for it. And if you like this video, if you actually are interested in this series, just leave a like and subscribe because that gives me some inspiration for making more and more good videos. And thanks for watching this.